Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, Verse 50. Draupadi cha tadajnaya
Dwarpati cha tadagyaya
patinam anapekshatam
patinam anapekshatam
vasudeve bhagavati
Vasudeve Bhagavati
hi ekantamatirapatam.
Hi ekanta atirapatam
Draupadi cha tadajnaya
Dwarpati cha tadagyaya
patinam anapekshatam
patinam anapekshatam
vasudeve bhagavati
Vasudeve Bhagavati
hi ekantamatirapatam.
Ekantam atirapatam
Draupadi cha tadajnaya
Dwarpati cha tadagyaya
patinam anapekshatam
patinam anapekshatam
Patinamane
vasudeve bhagavati
Vasudeve
Vasudeve Bhagavati
Bhagavati
hi ekantamatirapatam.
Hi
Ekantamati Apatam
Preeti Rupini Radhika.
Draupadi cha tadajanya
Draupadi cha tadajnaya
Patinam anektekshatam
patinam anapekshatam
Vasudeve Bhagavati
vasudeve bhagavati
Ekantamati Apatam.
Yekantamatirapatham. Translation and purport by Stephen Grace. Avai Charnarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms. Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas.
Dwarpati,
Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas.
Cha, and.
Cha, and
And
Tada, at that time.
Tada,
at that time.
Ajnaya, knowing Lord Krishna fully well.
Ajnaya,
knowing Lord Krishna fully
well.
Pati Nam, of the husbands.
Pati Nam, of the husbands.
Anapekshatham, who did not care for her.
Anapekshatam, who did not care for her.
Vasudeve, unto Lord Vasudeva Krishna.
Vasudeve,
unto Lord Vasudeva
Krishna.
Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead.
Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead.
He, exactly. Eka anta, absolutely. Mati, concentration.
Concentration.
Apa, God.
God.
Tham, him, the Lord.
Him, the Lord.
Translation, please repeat after me. Draupadi also saw that her husbands, without caring for her,
Draupadi also saw that her husband, without caring for her,
were leaving home. She knew well about Lord Vasudeva. Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Both she and Subhadra became absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. And attained the same results as their husbands.
and attain the same results as their husbands.
Purport.
When flying an airplane, one cannot take care of other planes. Everyone has to take care of his own plane, and if there is any danger, no other plane can help another in that condition. Similarly, at the end of life, when one has to go back home, back to Godhead, everyone has to take care of himself without help rendered by another. The help is, however, offered on the ground before flying in space. Similarly, the spiritual master, the father, the mother, the relatives, the husband, and others can all render help during one's lifetime. But while crossing the sea, one has to take care of himself and utilize the instructions formally received. Draupadi had 5 husbands, and no one asked Draupadi to come. Draupadi had to take care of herself without waiting for her great husband. And because she was already trained, she at once took to concentration upon the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The wives also got the same result as their husbands. In the same manner, this is to say, without changing their bodies, they reached the destination of God. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur suggests that both Draupadi and Subhadra, although her name is not mentioned herein, got the same result. None of them had to quit the body.
Hari Om Tat Satum Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pathaka Swamin Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradayine Gaurakatha Dhamadhaya Nagara Grama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadhe Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Hare Gopala Govindaram Sri Madhusudanam Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangun Langai Tegiri Matirpatamam Mande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So very beautiful words, and the purport is so important of Srila Prabhupada, without which one cannot understand what is the real content of the translation. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So here it is written Draupadi Patinam. Patinam is plural number. That means she had 5 husbands, so it is Patinam. All the brothers. We should not imitate that. This is possibly only by Draupadi, not by others. So although she had 5 husbands, the point is the Pandavas, Maharaja Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Saradeva, but at the time of retirement, they did not care what will happen to their wife. The same husbands, when they saw that their wife was insulted in the assembly of the Kurus, Draupadi, when she was insulted, because they lost Draupadi in the gambling, they were not tolerating and they were coming for rescue. Just see, gambling is so dangerous. The bet was the wife. So the Pandavas and the Kurus, they were playing on chess and they lost their kingdom, they lost their wife, and they were ordered to be banished for 12 years and 1 year incognito. So the condition was, now the betting is that if you lose the game, then you will be banished for 12 years in the forest, and 1 year you have to remain incognito. Nobody will know where you are. If you are, I mean to say, picked up, if you are found, if somebody knows that you recognize you, then here are the Pandavas. Then again, another 12 years you have to exile to the forest. So this is the previous condition of the battle of Kurukshetra. The whole idea was to reject the 5 Pandavas and enthrone Duryodhana and his brothers. That was called diplomacy. So when they were living incognito, nobody could know where the Pandavas were. The Duryodhanadis attempted to, very so many different ways, but they could not identify. So they attempted to gain Draupadi in the dress of Brahmanas. Draupadi's father made a bet that this is the condition of my daughter being given to a boy. The condition was that on the ceiling, a fish was hanging, and the boy who will be victorious in piercing the eyes of the fish by arrow, not directly looking, but there was a water pot, the reflection down. So he has to fix up his point by seeing the reflection down, and then he has to pierce the eye. Then Draupadi will be accepted. So all the noted princes in those times, they kept such bet. Even Krishna had to marry Satyabhama. Satyabhama's father also made a bet that he kept very strong bulls, 5 or 7 bulls. And so condition was that any boy who will be able to control these bulls simultaneously, then I will offer my daughter to him. So all the princes who came to control the bulls, they got their hands and legs fractured by the pushing of the bull. Nobody could get it. Then Krishna came. And Krishna controlled the 5 bulls, expanding himself into 5 strong boys. That's all. Very simple, you see. For the Lord, what is the difficulty? He was offered Satyabhama. So in Kshatriya marriage, it was not so easy. The boy had to show how much powerful he is. Then the girl will be offered. Not only that, there will be killing also. The opposite party may be killed. When there is fight, there is always killing, right? And by killing, the blood is smeared over the body. So that is a red sign. That is a red sign, now used with vermilion, not by killing. So formerly it was really blood. That is Kshatriya. Kshatriya means fighting race, fighting caste. They are royal, kingly order. So they must be very chivalrous, fighting, not timid. So a Kshatriya cannot be timid. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, they are all trained differently. Brahmana is supposed to meant for understanding Vedic knowledge and guide the other 3 subdivisions, namely Kshatriyas, Vaisyas. Of course, not Sudras. Sudras are not guided by anybody. They are just the servant of the other 3 upper classes, not caste. So, because the Sudras were not supposed to understand Vedic knowledge, especially Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, they understand. So the Kshatriyas were very chivalrous. In every action, there is fight. And this gambling was allowed for the Kshatriyas. If the opposite party challenges, I want to play with you gambling. Yes, the Kshatriya cannot deny, So if somebody opposite party comes, I want to fight with you. Yes, come on. Just like Jarasandha. Jarasandha was requested by Krishna and Arjuna and Bhima that we have come to you to fight with you. Any one of us, you can select. And that's our request. So Jarasandha immediately accepted, yes. So he rejected Krishna and Arjuna. He said, Krishna is a coward. I don't wish to fight with him. And Arjuna, he is less strong than me. So I don't wish to fight with him also. Now the only combatant is Bhima. So I shall fight with him. So during daytime, they would fight all day. And after daytime, they are friends. All these 3 gentlemen, Krishna, Arjuna, Bhima, were guests of Jarasandha. From evening, they will eat together, talk together, laugh together, and then in the morning, they will fight. This is called Kshatriya spirit, not enviousness, enmity in the heart, cheating, no. So this Draupadi was achieved by Arjuna by piercing the eye of the fish. So when they came home in great jubilation, Arjuna said, Yudhishthira said, Mother, we have got a great boon today. So mother was very affectionate. So she said, all right, my dear boys, just equally share amongst your brothers. So she was only woman. And so by the order of Kunti, although Arjuna achieved the hand of Draupadi, by the order of mother, she was divided amongst the 5 brothers. So Patinam, that is why in this sloka it is written Patinam, plural. And when she was insulted because she was lost in the gambling, bet was that this time if you lose, then your Draupadi should be lost. So she was lost in that way. So Krishna was refused to take part in the sporting, piercing the eyes of the fig, because Draupadi actually knew that Arjuna is my real husband. So if Karna takes part, and Karna was not allowed, Karna takes part in the sporting, Karna was very powerful, he would gain. But she didn't like Karna. So at that time she said that this sporting is meant for the Kshatriyas, not for the Shudras. Karna was known at that time as Shudra. You will find all these stories in Mahabharata. Karna was also Yudhishthira's brother, born of Kunti before her marriage. So Kunti did not disclose that Karna was her son, but she was raised by a Shudra. He was raised by a Shudra. People knew that he was a Shudra. So Karna had to grudge against Draupadi. Therefore, he planned to place her in the gambling game. And when the Pandavas were lost, now he wanted to retaliate the insult given by Draupadi during her Swayamvara. So he advised, he was friendly to Duryodhana and brothers. Now this lady is lost. Now we can deal with her as we like. She is our property. So she was lost. So in this way, and another side, Patinam Anatekshatam, they are retiring from home without any consideration. So at that time, when Draupadi was insulted, the Panchapandavas, everybody took an oath to kill the Dushasana and his brothers, and a lot of different promises they have taken in order to protect Draupadi. But now the same Panchapandavas who were very affectionate to Draupadi, who protected her, and now they don't care for her. They are retiring from home without any consideration what will happen to our wife Draupadi. No. Now everyone should take care of himself. That is why Srila Prabhupada very beautifully writing in the purport, once the plane aircraft is taken off from the ground, no more help is available. It has to manage itself. It has to reach the destination safely. Otherwise, everything is spoiled. Like that, every individual, the spiritual master, the parents, the relatives, everybody will help as long as you are in the life. And once you leave the life, you are on travel, then you have to take care of yourself on your own. Everybody is going alone. This is called retirement, anapekshatam, without waiting for anyone, alone, simply depending on Krishna. This is called a renounced order of life. So the process of renouncement is not that you make arrangement in the family that I am now retiring, you send me some money, I shall remain in Vrindavan and maintain myself with the money that you send me every month. No, dependency should be only on Krishna. Ekanta matir apa. Actually, Krishna saves us. Why we should depend on others? Krishna is only protector and the provider. Krishna says, anyone who is completely dependent on me, yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I personally bring whatever his necessity is. That is promise of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 9, verse 22, you can see. So renounced order means that no more dependence on father, mother, husband, completely depending on Krishna. Ekanta, that is called perfection. One who is fully convinced that Krishna is with me. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 61. So you can see, I will not have to search out Krishna anywhere. He is within me, within my heart. There are many instances. So Sukadeva Goswami is telling he was wandering all over the world alone, naked, even no clothes. Simply while walking on the street early in the morning, he would stand anywhere, because in those days, every house, they had cows, and the time for milking is early in the morning. So we are also milking cows, and in so many ISKCON centrals. So any house he would stand before, and those who were milking, they would give him a glass of milk. That's all, finished. For the whole day. That was Sukadeva Goswami's practice. So in this way, one has to depend on only Krishna. In the renounced order of life, one has to depend completely on God. That's all. So here, all the 5 husbands, how much responsible they were. Because their own wife was insulted. They declared the war, battle of Kurukshetra, killed the whole family. Similarly, Lord Ramachandra also, when his wife was kidnapped, Sita Rani, by Ravana, so Lord Ramachandra is God himself. He could create many millions of Sitas, but no. For that one Sita, war was declared against Ravana, and the whole family, dynasty with kingdom, everything was finished. So this is the duty of the husband, that not like the modern days husband marries for 3 months and or 6 months, they were no more husband, separate. Not like that. Husband means one who takes charge of the girl for life. And wife means the girl who has resolution to serve the husband throughout life. That is husband and wife. And when the wife is in danger, the husband's duty is to give protection at any cost, that husband-wife relationship. But when one is going to retire, that's another thing. Because life is divided into 4 parts, right? Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So women has got 3 positions only. They require protection. So women is never allowed to become in renounced order of life. They are supposed to be under the care of somebody. So early age under the care of father, young age under the care of husband, old age under the care of grown-up children, sons. This is women's position. They remain always under the care of, but they can remain a staunch devotee under any care for the social customs. They can be under the care of son or husband or father, or depending upon the position, but they can still guide the whole society. They can be the spiritual master and initiate disciples. So Jano Mataji is one of the examples. So many, not so many, but a few lady devotees we have in the history, in our parampara. But when the husbands were going for renounced order of life, Appane Anapekshatam, without caring for Draupadi, she could understand, oh, now I will not be cared for anymore. My husbands are no more in duty bound to give me any protection anymore. She could understand. Tadajnaya. She could understand. And there is no such obligation also. That is a sanction of the Shastra. Devarshi bhutaptan rinam pitrunam. Nayam drinena kinkaro rajan. Sarvatmanaya sharanam charanyam. Gato mukundam parihritya kartam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 5, verse 41 says, we have got many duties actually. So long we are not fully surrendered to Krishna. It is not that this Krishna consciousness movement is to give shelter to some irresponsible man who doesn't care for the responsibilities of family life or brahmachari life. No. But nowadays that's forgotten. Everything is topsy-turvy. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Krishna Bhakti, Krishna consciousness movement may be offered even to the Chandala. Chandala means the lowest of the human society, the dog eaters. Chandala. This is the benefit of Krishna consciousness. That this Krishna consciousness movement can be accepted by anyone, and it can be bestowed to anyone without any discrimination, whether is qualified or not qualified, without any discrimination. And that's happening now by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the whole parampara. It's happening. We have no discrimination that this movement is meant for such and such class of men or such and such nation or such and such country. No, it is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. That means it is meant for everyone, and anyone who takes to the shelter of Krishna consciousness, he is happy. So this ISKCON means, that is also explained here, Ekanta Matirapa, simply to concentrate one's mind on Krishna. Vasudeve Bhagavati Ekanta Matirapatham. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 2, verse 7 also it is said, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam. This is the benefit of becoming Krishna conscious. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Vasudeva means Krishna, son of Vasudeva, is the supreme personality of Godhead. So Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga, one who takes the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna by Bhakti Yoga process. Bhakti Yoga process. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. When applied, Janayati Ashu Vairagyam. Because in the human form of life, 2 things are required. That is perfection, Jnanam Vairagyam. Jnanam means knowledge and Vairagya means detachment. When one has full knowledge, then he becomes detached to this material world. We are suffering in the material world because we have got attachment. And the attachment is, by nature's law, man's attachment for women, women's attachment for man. This is called attachment. Pumsastriyamithuni bhavametam. The central point is sex, and that is the attachment. Pumsastriya maituni bhavam. The whole world, this material world is moving. What is the central point? Sex attachment. So one has to become free from this attachment. That is called vairagya. So if one can give up this attachment from very beginning of life, that is called brahmachari. He is trained. Don't be attached. You will save so much time and save your life. That is brahmachari. Because this attachment is a continuation of our material life. So much of attachment, varieties of attachment. And the central point is only sex. Therefore, school, college means that to train the students how to become detached. So brahmachari should live under the guidance of the spiritual master as a menial servant. That is the brahmachari's position. And whatever he collects, he would give to the spiritual master. And if the spiritual master says, now you can eat, then he will eat. Otherwise, he will have to starve. He will not take the things of spiritual master by his own hand. No. This is the austerity of brahmachari. And no meeting with young girls. Even the wife of the spiritual master is young, the brahmachari is not allowed to go there. There are so many, Srimad Bhagavatam says, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa. But these things are not now possible in the Kali Yuga. Because varnashrama dharma is not existing anywhere. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam. Krishna already told, and people have 50% followed. They gave up the sarva dharman parityajya, they gave up the varnashrama dharma. But mamekam sharanam raja is pending. They have not surrendered to Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and you are all being trained to engage them in surrendering to Krishna. How to surrender to Krishna? How to surrender to Krishna? By simply remembering Krishna's name, Krishna's pastimes, association of devotees, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because now everything is topsy-turvy. There is no regular training of the human being at all. It's a cats and dogs civilization. They don't require any training, cats and dogs. Because what is modern civilization is eating, sleeping, mating and defending and dying. That's all. It doesn't require any education. Anyway, it will happen. Whether you are educated or you are uneducated, this will happen. So, this is very important to understand. Where is the necessity of education for these four things? And still, they are going for education. They become graduates, engineers, doctors, spending a lot of money, wealth, everything. And then they are like street dogs looking for a job. Next time food is not guaranteed. Anybody can throw stones. This is the position after completing the education. Just look at the value of the education after spending their wealth and everything. So, and ultimately, what are they doing? Even if they get job, what are they doing? Simply eating, sleeping, mating and defending. For this, what is the education required? Cats and dogs are doing. Then what is the meaning of that education? How to sleep, how to eat, how to have sex, and how to die. See? Where is the necessity of education for these things, you tell me? The so-called educations, they're all doing only these four things. Any animal, man, bird, beast, insect, everybody knows these four things. Ahara, nidra, vayamaitunam cha. It doesn't require any education. If there is education for this purpose, that is for restraining, it is required in the human society. That is brahmachari. To restrict from these four activities, that education is required. That is called education. And if you are not restricted in that way, then you are animal only. No, because cats and dogs is not restricting anything here. So these four things, primary necessities of living entity, eating, sleeping, mating, etc. It doesn't require any education. Why there is description, how to eat, how to sleep, how to have sex, and it is for decreasing. So at least we should see to that it is restricted. So when there is Shastra sanctioning for this eating, sleeping, mating, that means to become grahastha. Pravritir esha bhutanam nivrutestu mahaphalam. This inclination is natural, but when there is regulative principles, That means to restrict. This is practice. Yeah. So we must practice these regulative principles. 4 regulative principles, not so many. 4 regulative principles only. It is not avoided, but it is restricted. Regulative principle means you have to regulate the senses in the same 4 activity, not that you avoid. Regulate in a systematic manner under the guidance of spiritual master. How to perform, why to perform, what to perform, when to perform, everything. Because I am not this body, first of all. I am simply wasting my time taking care of this body. But I am different from this body, right? That is natural. Suppose you are sitting in some place. If you know that place does not belong to you, then why should you take so much care of that place? You are sitting there for some business, finish and go. Similarly, we are sitting in this body. This body is not our place. We are sitting for some time. Finish our duty of becoming Krishna consciousness and leave this body and take up your original, constitutional, eternal, servital body from Krishna. So, this is very important. The real thing is the soul. So we should take care, just like we can take care of this hat and coat by soaping it, by cleaning, by ironing, like that. I have to take care of myself also, right? The body which is putting the hat and coat also we are taking care, the material body. But the material body itself is the hat and coat for us, the soul. The real person is the spirit soul. So what is the necessity of the spirit soul? The necessity of spirit soul, because it is part and parcel of Krishna. He is hankering to unite with Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness movement. We are hankering to unite with Krishna, but we forgot Krishna. So we are trying to unite with so many other living entities. That is our problem. So Krishna consciousness movement revives this forgotten relationship with Krishna and uniting you with the supreme soul. That is very natural, actually, in the natural process. Why do you love your body? Or why do you love your son's body? So long the spirit soul is there. As soon as the spirit soul is off, you don't care for the son's body or daughter's body or wife's body. Immediately, it won't be any more lovable object for you. So who is the lovable object? Not the body. The lovable object is the soul. This is very natural to understand, right? Why don't you love a dead body? Because the soul is not there. Then the soul is the object of your love, not the body. And why you take care of the soul? Because it is part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the ultimate object of love. That is called Krishna consciousness. What is the difficulty? So, these Pandavas were trained up very nicely. Therefore, Vasudeva Bhagavati, Hi Ekantamatir Apatam. They knew that ultimately Krishna is everything. Ultimately, Krishna is everything. The beauty is, Pancha Pandavas did not give up the body. They didn't die at all. Without changing the body, they went back home, back to Godhead. This is Krishna consciousness. Any Krishna conscious devotee only can do that. And Srila Prabhupada and the whole Acharya Parampara, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara Pandit, and Srivas Thakur, and the Shat Goswami Prabhu Brind, the whole Guru Parampara has given us this opportunity that you can become as good as the Pancha Pandavas, and you can also, without changing the body, it is possible to go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, how? By example, they have lived by example. Devotees are Achar, Prachar. They live by example. They teach what they are doing. So anyone who understands that ultimately Krishna Vasudeva is everything, Samahatma Sudurlabha, such person is very rare, but he will not take another birth. Janma karma chame divyam yevam yoveti tatvataha jaktva deham prajanma naiti mameti Arjuna. So in Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 9, Sri Krishna says that his appearance and his activities are transcendental. If anyone understands by truth this thing from the parampara, then he need not come back again to this material world upon giving up the body. So we are active on the platform of this bodily consciousness now. That is also required for some time, not for all the time. The aim is to work for the soul. So we wanted the body now. But because now we are covered by this material body, so we have to utilize the best use of a bad bargain, as Prabhupada says. It is a bad bargain that we have got this material body, which is made up of dead matter, where we are only living. The body is dead matter. So just like you take care of your car because you want to utilize it for going here and there. Without a man being interested going by the car, nobody takes care. Car is not meant for simply putting petrol. You have to use that, not for simply keeping the car and maintaining, cleaning, putting petrol, but not using. What is the use here? What is the use of the car? Car is meant for moving around, right? So put petrol, maintain that, so that you can move around easily, fast. In the similar way, yantra rudani mayaya, this body is your car and you are sitting inside. You maintain this body, okay, what for? To travel spiritually, to re-spiritualization process. So that is wanted. That is the main purpose. Just like these Pandavas. And you see Draupadi and Subhadra, they followed their husbands very nicely, very easily. And with the Prabhupada very clearly guarantees in the last statement of the purport that both Draupadi and Subhadra, none of them had quit the body. You see, Pancha Pandavas, Draupadi, Subhadra, they did not quit the body. They did not die. They did not die. They reached the destination of Godhead without changing their bodies. What is the doubt in this English? And this is very much practical and it is scientific. They did that. We can do that. Our Acharya Parampara is empowering us and giving us the practice to do that. Nobody wants to die. This is the only way that you don't want to die. Without dying, you want to go back home, back to Godhead, take to Krishna consciousness. Who will not take to Krishna consciousness? Only those who want to die. And who wants to die? Ask them. Bring them into Krishna consciousness. Ask them to chant Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization, please do share with us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much for the association. So we'll wind up and resume our Srimad Bhagavatam class tomorrow night at 8 o'clock sharp. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Bhagavat Satsang ki jai.
Jai.
Vaishnav Pranam. Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai